Yeah. Hey. Wow. Let's go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Wake up.
First guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life's not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth.
Lord, I needed that Sherman this morning to wake on up. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All right, sounding good. Paul Beee, Billy the Gawd.
Hey.
All of you, man, on this Monday, what is it, August the 18th, 2025?
Man, about to be September already in a few.
Yeah. Heard it's a thunderstorming out there, rainy out there. Of course, I'm still cloud hopping, and my man Buddy's over here in where all funky things come out in Atlanta. So, so those of you in Omaha, we're keeping an eye on what's going on out there. So let us know what the weather's doing as well. Love to hear from you. And welcome on this Monday morning. I appreciate you guys getting up early with us this morning. Didn't realize what early was till I came out to the West Coast.
Man, you gotta give it up to Pops.
Marlon Harrison wants Pops to get on the show, but it's too early to even knock on anybody's door around here. I'm like, I'm trying to be quiet right now. I might be waking the neighbors up. It's something else. It's something else. I forgot about this time of the morning.
Man,
matter of fact, this time in the morning used to be last night for me. So Kimberly Snipes gives us. I see Kimberly Snipes in the chat giving us a good morning. Good morning, y'all. Appreciate you. Also, Mark Manor gives us a good morning. Hey, how you doing, brother? Michelle Moreno says good morning, everyone. Marlon Harrison says good morning, First Sky family, and happy motivational Monday. Cool. Heather Williams gives us a good morning. RG is up and at 'em. That's what's up. Kimberly Snipes says I turned 50 in September, the big 50. That's what's up. All right, you looking forward to you having a big bash? I miss my big bash, but I realized later on I was like, I guess that's kind of a milestone. Better celebrate that.
50?
So let us know what you're doing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. 50's a milestone.
Most def. I mean, just about every year that you're alive is a milestone. So,
yeah.
Sean McCarthy says, morning. Kudos for powering through today, Paul. Whew. Yeah, it's rough. But we are here because we definitely have many a thing to talk about today. So we appreciate you guys joining us. Of course, we got a special guest, Kimberly Sherrod, coming on from Native Omahans Club. Can't wait to speak with her. We spoke to her last week. Get out to Marlon Harrison for putting us in touch. She was like, "Yeah, I was waiting y'all to call." I was like, "Okay, well here we are." So let's get into it. Of course, we're going to keep on talking about Native Omaha Days for a while. It's kind of a milestone, man. That Native Omaha Days is one of the best yet. 25th year of it, and the largest they've ever had.
Actually, speaking of 50, technically it was the 50th year because it happens every other year. So it was the 25th anniversary, but it was the 50th year of the Native Omaha Day celebration. So
I didn't even think of that. Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of 50 and milestones, this was one for the ages. No wonder we had so many families getting street names and getting honored and all of that.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see the articles that come out on this. That's what's up. Appreciate everybody joining us. Also, Kimber says, I don't even have time to think about doing something for my birthday. Yeah, you stay busy. Pops is up. What's up, Pops? Says good morning.
Did you wake up?
Good morning. Probably did. Good morning, Mad Love from Las Vegas. Now, he said he gets up around this time all the time to catch the show. So I said props for anybody on the West Coast, and even more props for anybody in Hawaii that's listening, which I know a few are. So
really,
that is last night in Hawaii for real. So appreciate that. Kimber says I'm in the middle of strategic plan implementation, fundraising, and school board. Got a lot on your plate. We need to check in with you on some school board stuff for sure. Now that the kids are back, see what kind of strategies are going there. Appreciate that. Mama God gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. How you doing today, buddy? How you feeling?
A little tired, boss. Technically 3 o'clock is still last night for me. Kind of late night in the studio, but yeah, I'm feeling all right. Looking forward to today's conversation, having Miss Kimberly on. Always good to be on with the fam, be on with the folks. Also speaking to all of you, the chat chimers, happy also happy belated birthday to the senators, Ashley Spivey and Terrell McKinney. I saw Senator McKinney doing the thing over the weekend. So yeah,
Yeah.
feeling good, feeling good.
What's up,
Yeah,
man?
man.
Everybody's giving him some shout outs. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am a little upset I missed the show. We'll be talking about it a little later on, but yeah, man, both reunion, Six Flat coming out.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, we'll
Come
talk about
on,
it. We'll talk
bro.
about it. How you doing, man? How's Vegas treating you?
Man, it's good, man. It's good. I've been grinding. This is not really a vacation trip for me, although it does feel like a vacation whenever I'm hanging with pops because we get to
Hey,
just kind of hang out, man. Go to eat some good food out here in Vegas and hang out. So, but luckily I can do what I do on the fly. So I've just been kind of grinding, and that's really about it, man. So far, I'm not back yet, so I might get to venture out, do a little cloud hopping, and see some fam and stuff like that before I get back into town. But for the most part, yeah, I've just been trying to. I feel like there was jet lag and getting up at 3 and everything that's been
oh
been
yeah,
some of the issue here. So it's hard to catch some rest. But then I remember when I'm back home, it's hard to catch some rest. So it's just the nature of life right now to just kind of be doing what we can do, how we can do it.
doing the
So
thing.
just doing the thing, man. But we're gonna do the thing here today for sure. Definitely want to talk about a few things going on. You mentioned that Mensch show that just passed. We just looked at. I want to know how many people got out to see that because I saw some footage from some of the folks that was out there, and I was like, this was an event. This was definitely an event. There was definitely a lot of energy on stage, like you said. The return of both.
Man,
Ty Lynn looked like she was getting down up there big time. And I always like when Ty Lynn performs. I saw a lot of people. Kira Marshall was out there performing. I saw, just kind of from here was sitting here like, man, I wish I could have went. So I was kind of just peeping everybody's footage that they would jump in and out live, and I can see what's going on stage. But yeah, it seemed to be a pretty special show. And Mary Ewing was there speaking, shooting hoops and all kinds of stuff. So
oh,
yeah,
he was getting his Obama on.
man, he got his Obama on. I'm glad he made that shot on camera. I was like, I'm glad he made that one. Superman strikes again.
Yeah,
So hey, appreciate that, and yeah, just let us know if you went and how it was and all that good stuff. We'll definitely be talking about it today in some other kind of contexts as well. Got brought to our attention this last week. So shout out to all the chat chimers and ghost listeners that hit us up with information on things, so we can break past the surface on some stuff, and
mm,
that's what it's all about, man. So shout out.
like a
Also,
like a
I wanted to mention before we got going too, Miss Erica Felt. I don't know if Miss Erica Felt is in the chat yet, but she posted some stuff on Friends of First Sky Omaha, and there was a discussion about some of the things that she posted, and then she kind of retracted, kind of came back and was like, "Yeah, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have posted that. I got some more facts, and now I wish I hadn't." And I just want to make mention uh, that process right there is exactly what we are looking for. It's exactly what we are talking about doing. If we share information with each other and that information, some more information comes to light, and those things change, then getting back on, admitting those changes, evolving the conversation. That's what that's all about. Especially the Friends of First Sky Omaha page, because that's not our news page. We actually have a First Sky Omaha news page, and we also have our website, and these are things that we're trying to populate with news that has been fact checked and so on and so forth. And we're in the process of populating those things. But Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page, is for us to kind of talk amongst each other, figure out what the facts are, add facts, dig deep, figure it out, have some discussion, figure out how we feel about stuff, and so on. So whenever anybody gets on there and puts something on there, just remember that's the spirit of that page right there, is to just be like, hey, so ran across this piece of information. Anybody see anything here on this? Is there's some truth to that? There's some facts that can back this kind of stuff up. That's kind of our worksheet there to process, whether or not some of these things that we're coming across on social media is true. So she actually, to me, she actually kind of did exactly what that page is for. So I just want to give her a shout out for her whole process of just becoming more news gang and just, it's on her mind to be a trusted source. All the things that we're trying to teach in content creator camp and everywhere else. So shout out to Miss Erica Felt. Shout out to all of you that came back with some information on that particular business that she was speaking on. and we got a better understanding of what goes on with that particular business and those owners as well. It was a situation that had to do with immigration. So highly encourage you to go back to Friends of First Sky Omaha and check that whole conversation out, so you can kind of see how it goes and what that page is for. And that's what's up. So appreciate that.
Yeah. You forgot, you left out one of the biggest parts, man. Come on.
What's
Come
that?
on.
What's that?
The fact that she's a content creator camp participant. She
He
ain't
is.
just so yeah, I definitely appreciate that move from her, and that goes a long way. Even when you're wrong, admitting you're wrong goes a long way with even gaining more trust. So even in the face of being wrong, you can gain people's trust by doing
Right.
that and being honest, which again, I'm pretty sure nobody expects even the top news platforms to be 100% correct 100% of the time. So yeah,
When even
man.
though
Yeah.
you ask them, they think they are and hardly ever apologize. So this
Yeah.
is this is the new news right here for sure.
News gang, news gang,
News gang.
news gang.
Mark Banner in the chat said John Ewing speaking directly to the kids at this event got my eyes dusty. Both was awesome.
I'm not crying. You're crying. You're crying.
Shout out, man. I'm glad you gave me some firsthand information. He said both was awesome. I appreciate that too. And yeah, man, I'm excited that you went. You were one of the ones that posted that both was coming and how significant that was. I appreciate that, because that's definitely something that me and my circles is like, both got back together. That's what's up. Need to
Man.
see this show. So I followed Sky Ree's page and saw the time him and his family had out there. It was a good look. I was proud. I was definitely proud. Also, Sean McCarthy in chat says running corrections has shown to actually increase people's trust in a news outlet. So no shame in running a correction. For real. This really real. Also, Kimmer says
Man.
people went and did research. I enjoy watching it unfold, and it wasn't hateful or anything. Thank you. This is my whole point. It's my whole point. Really, this is the perfect example of what we put Friends of First Sky Omaha group page there for exactly that. People went in, did research, came back with some facts. Minds got changed. People got some understanding happened. Whole nine. So I enjoyed it how it unfolded as well, for sure. Yep, that's what it is. Mark Manor said both got new music coming. Don't be teasing me. My emotions.
Threaten me with a good time.
It's already 7:12 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we really haven't gotten into any of the community. I guess we've been talking about community news and stuff already. Yeah, but I want to highlight a couple more things that's going on. Just to do that, if I can find them. Don't forget our partners over here at Heart Ministries have their lawyers in the city coming up. September 12th is the next time that this is happening, but highly encourage you to get your legal questions kind of in mind. Everything that is going on with you is going to come down to whether or not you have you get some help legally on some certain situations, and you might need some help with that. So write them down, get them ready, and meet them over there for the free kind of consultation that's going on right now. There's a few of these going on around town. People are starting to understand what's going on here a little bit more with that. I think next ballot in the bullet season, we're going to be looking at judges more speaking to more lawyers, because as things unfold with this administration, I'm seeing city suing the administration, all kinds of stuff going on. That means more lawyers, more judges making decisions. And every time I think about judges making decisions against this administration, I'm thinking, maybe things are still kind of working still a little bit. So it's just something to think about. I know that I started many a business over the course of my lifetime, and never once got to the point where I wanted to put a lawyer on the team until now. Until now, I'm understanding like the importance of that.
Hey, get you right. Get you right.
Especially what we're doing. I also want to just encourage you guys to check out the summit, Tending to Our Gardens, August 21st and 22nd at the Hilton. This is brought on by IB Black Girl. I think we're going to possibly have somebody in this week from IB Black Girl to speak of it, possibly Senator Spivey, and get some more information on this. But this is coming up as well. Since it's the 18th, we better start talking about it. It's coming August 21st and 22nd. The Tending to Our Gardens Summit 2025. Definitely check that out. More information, you can always go to the IB Black Girl page and get more information there for sure. Also, this community opportunity alert is happening. Omaha City Council public hearing. Your chance to speak up. I don't know if you can see that, but this is coming up tomorrow, August 19th. And I think this is associated with the groups that have been getting together, having discussions about the city budget. And now there's a kind of a call to action to go up and speak about the budget, let your voice be heard, and so on and so forth. This also was in Friends of First Sky Omaha. So if you want some more information here, you want to read through this flyer, it's there for you to go check out. So please do. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. We want people to understand like how this thing works and maybe go do something about it. Maybe lend your voice and make some decisions here about what goes on with the budget. Being able to help make that decision, I should say, or influence people on certain ways or certain ways that works. So definitely check this out. Again, this is in Friends of First Sky Omaha Community Opportunity Alert, Omaha City Council public hearing. Your chance to speak up. Date and time Tuesday, August 19th at 2 p.m. They give you the location there, the legislative chamber. Yeah, this is kind of your call to participate. So definitely look at that. Also, Afrofest coming up on the 31st. Don't forget about that.
Hey,
It's going to be at Heartland in America Park. Check out Afrofest gets down every year. Man, even if you just go for the food, you in for something special every time. Say again?
that rice jollof.
Man,
Jollof.
anybody go to that Jollof festival? I'm so mad I missed that. Yeah, dude, for real, for real. But yeah, check out Afrofest. Of course, Afrofest has been growing every year, and I just love the camaraderie, everybody that goes, and the whole, all the culture, man, all the different cultures. It's a good time every time you go. Be hot outside when you go, but it's kind of it feels good. It feels good to be around your people and see the different cultures and hang out and see how much this thing has grown. And like I said, one of the highlights for me is all that food, all that good food that they got sitting around there. It goes down. It goes down for real. So with that, we'll move on into the thread that we have today. We'll save some more of the community updates and stuff for later. And if you have any, definitely drop them in the chat or put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha so we can pull them and talk about them. I would really love to see other sources, other things that are going on around town. We know that we don't catch all of it. So whatever it is that you see, you think is important and we need to be checking out, please let us know. Appreciate that for sure. RG in the chat real quick is saying, found that flyer for the free cancer screening that NOAA is running. We'll post in Friends of First Sky. I appreciate that. Nice. I saw that way down the way in Friends of First Sky Omaha too. I couldn't find it this morning, so I appreciate you reposting that in Friends of and letting us see that. I'd love to have somebody from NOAA on to talk about what NOAA does as well. So maybe we can do that. Yeah,
NOAA gets down.
NOAA does get down. It really does. Like there's not enough fanfare for what NOAA is about and what they do. So I'd definitely like to talk to somebody over there about that and highlight that program a little bit more. I think it's one of the good ones, one of the good programs. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Buddy, and we'll talk about what today's thread is and get this conversation underway. Again, if you're just joining us, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul Beee. He's Buddy to Gawd, and also we'll have a special guest coming in today. Miss Kimberly Sherrod from Native Omahans Club is going to join us a little later on the show. So please stick around for the show. Share the show on your page if you're on Facebook, and also share the link if you're on YouTube. Like and subscribe when you get over there as well. Meantime, between time, Buddy, what's going on? What's on your mind today?
Yeah. Touching on a few things that actually, a lot of the chat chimers have been vocal on over the weekend. Really, a lot of people have reached out to us. I'm also seeing some posts that people are talking about, and I wrapped it up into a thread of gentrification. Let's talk about it. Gentrification, development, North Omaha being developed, and what does that mean? What does that look like? And really tying that into a lot of the things that we've been talking about, specifically homelessness. Again, we kind of situation was going on with Trump and the moves that he's making and trying to understand that. But actually, a few chat chimers have mentioned, the homeless aspect of what's going on out there, and how does that impact Omaha? Again, if you are not familiar, Trump trying to either round up or push homeless individuals out of the city of DC, and this isn't just the issue that DC is facing. Really, it's a national issue, and Omaha is no exception. A lot of people have actually posted about several hotspot encampment areas in the city, Saddle Creek being one of them. So again, what's going on with that situation? A lot of people asking questions. We spoke to the city's homeless director Sister Tamara Dwyer. So again, continuing that conversation and also getting into what's happening on the housing side, because again, once you find a house, or again, if you find a house, can you keep it? And that's if you find a house. That's a big if. There's a whole affordable housing conversation still going on. Actually, a lot of movement with that. Again, we spoke with Mayor Ewing several weeks back, and he mentioned the city is rolling some things out. Actually, is reported 2,000 affordable housing units being announced. Also, some things with Metro rolling out some student-built housing, and then also getting down to this Mensch Group. Again, we mentioned it, talking about the concert, but it wasn't just the concert. Again, the concert was to raise awareness about a project that they have coming down the pipe. And again, we're just kind of really hearing and learning about the Mensch Group, who's behind it, who's really making all the housing moves in the city. What's really going on? Again, that's the whole point of First Sky Omaha, to get down to the bottom of it. So in the meantime, between time, again, we're here for the next 2 hours. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, anything we might be missing the mark on, anything we need to get corrected, let us know. So
yeah, we again, all about getting corrected. That's for sure.
Man, just trying to get it right. So in the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Story.
Man, appreciate you coming in with that whole situation. We'll definitely talk more. One of the things that I forgot to mention too is there's a concert coming up here that I'm looking for right now, because it's going to be a good one. Yeah, I'll come back and talk about it after the break. But yes, lots of things going on here, and it feels like the summer is not over. With this show that just came, there's a jazz festival coming up as well. There's still more performances and things out there, more activities out there for us to engage in living alive with one another on the Omaha stage. So we'll be talking about some of those coming up as well. But in the meantime, between time, let's definitely take a quick break, and we'll come back, jump into the conversation. Again, Kimberly Sherrod is going to join us soon, so please stick around for that interview. Can't wait to speak with her. Meantime, between time, my name is Paul B. He's buddy to Gawd.
Hey.
First Sky Omaha in the morning. Right back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Man, I'm tired. Okay, we got a little lag going on there. It's all good. Let us know how we looking, how we sounding on here. Want to make sure that we are coming through loud and clear, but we're going to jump into some conversation. I appreciate everybody that's joining us this morning. I see Kimmer says it'd be nice to hear what Charles Drew is doing, talking about what's happening with the homeless situation as well. I appreciate that very much. Linda Lathan gives us a good morning, some sunshine. Appreciate you. Good morning. Also, Kimmer Snipes says, I see One World in North O, but never see Charles Drew in South O. That's interesting. Yeah. I definitely think when I think of South O, I think of One World for sure. I didn't realize. I guess Charles Drew is in the South Side too. Yeah, that's interesting observation. Appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Wright is in the chat. Good morning. He says SCOTUS, not Trump, is who allowed for houselessness to be criminalized. Okay, to be criminalized. Interesting. Yeah, this is ongoing, man. This feels like definitely a war on the homeless, war on poor people. It's been going on for years from every party that's been in. It's just a continuation of all this. But what's going on right here with this occupation of DC and all these other places, all these other things that are going on, it seems like something a little bit different this time. We got threats of other cities being occupied by the National Guard. It's just going to turn into every city that doesn't do something that the administration likes or doesn't say the right thing is going to get invaded. So all these questions coming up, but we'll jump into it before I get too far off on my soapbox. What's the first on the agenda, buddy? What's going on?
No, you taking the right path, man. You going down the right path. As far as that's what my mind is too. We talk about Trump and what's going on in DC, but it's always in the back of my mind. How does this? What does this mean for Nebraska? What does this mean for the home front, if you will? Again, a national issue, homelessness is, and how it's being handled in DC could be a sign. We'll see. But also, um thinking about continuing our conversation of community police relations, and this the point that brother Anthony Rogers Wright is making about the criminalization of homelessness, um kind of concerning as well. So let's kind of dive into it, because that is really the ultimatum that homeless individuals, brothers and sisters in DC, are being forced with, whether it's coming from the Secretary of State, Trump. It's coming. It's coming, and it's happening right now. This is being reported by NPR, who, again, no wonder Trump is trying to shut them down, because they're not afraid to tell the truth. But again, this out of NPR, as far as the ultimatum that has been passed down, again, during a press conference last week, the White House, Trump lumped unhoused Americans together with criminals, people experiencing drug addiction and mental illness, and said they all must leave the streets or vacate DC immediately. He says we're going to be removing homeless encampments from all over our parks, our beautiful, beautiful parks, which a lot of people can't walk on. They're very dirty, he says. There are many places they can go. We're going to help them as much as you can help, but they're not going to be allowed to turn our capital into a wasteland. According to activists, about roughly 800 to 900 people sleep on Washington streets on any given night in the summer. Many of them say they don't have safe, affordable options, as camps like this are being uprooted. Also, Dana White, who is with a group called Miriam's Kitchen that works to end chronic homelessness in Washington, said Trump's purge of people without housing doesn't address the underlying lack of affordable housing, which is, again, in this season of Space is the Place, something we will continue to talk about here on this show. He says, well, we're simply moving the problem around. We're not really providing a solution to folks' homelessness. DC shelter capacity is often very limited. Ultimately, these people often have no permanent, stable place to go. So this kind of sets up the problem that I see, maybe impacting the Omaha area, for the simple fact, and I very emotionally asked the same question here on this show months ago. Where are we going to go? Where do people have to go? You talk about this police state that's being built, Paul, and especially Nebraska, a state like Nebraska, who Pillin has already shown he's willing to follow in line with Trump. What does this mean for the homeless situation? Specifically speaking of DC, the ultimatum that has been laid down is either leave, which again, go where? To go to other cities who already have homeless issues, or to go to jail? Because that is also the other report is, again, a lot of these homeless individuals are saying homelessness is not illegal. But yet here we have a lot of encampments being cleared up and a lot of people being rallied in, as the article said, lumped up with criminals and people living on the fringes, if you will. So again, where is this going? Let's fast forward to the Omaha area, because this isn't, as I mentioned, just secluded to DC. Actually, I believe Sister Kimra, I've seen Sister Precious, a lot of chat chimers and friends of First Sky have spoken on social media about the encampments that they've seen pop up around the Omaha area. And hotbeds like Saddle Creek, hot areas like Dodge Park or Dodge Street. And I will say, living here in Atlanta, which again, homelessness is another huge issue here in Atlanta, and hold it right there. Thank you for posting that picture. When I moved to Atlanta in 2021, I would see encampments. This was almost like a culture shock for me, very often in Omaha, but homeless encampments like this are all over Atlanta. Side of the streets, on lining highways. I mean, and it's not like they're trying to hide, they're setting up right on the side of the street.
Wherever they can find.
Right. fast forward to this past summer, I seen many encampments like this around.
Uh-oh. Looks like Buddy froze there. You might have to restart, Buddy. Sorry about that, y'all. I know that he was talking about the encampments that he's been seeing around Omaha and how much more that is. So, yeah, I definitely have seen a rise in it too as I've been here. Definitely seen a rise in it, and people are starting to speak out about it a little bit. We had Tamara Dwyer, who's the homeless person for the state, the person that deals with this, and we had her on the show. You can go check that show out on YouTube as well. It was a good conversation about some of the solutions, some of the things that need to happen. But we definitely been seeing a rise of it here in a big way, and it's something that's being spoken on now because, like, where do you go? Like Buddy was saying, where do you go? Also it's a trip because we've been covering for the past year or two now the situation with the towers, the situation with City View, and these situations where these are kind of some of the places that people have to go when they're trying to get some kind of help, which is a real trip. Where do you go when you need the help? And we've been reporting on those places so much that we forget that one step beyond City View, one step beyond the towers is homelessness. And also, I mean, we right now we're witnessing this right now. We're witnessing organizations that are in North Omaha that are trying to help people find places in City View, but are they successfully able to find everybody a spot? Probably not. Probably some of the people that are leaving City View are going to be in these encampments, and this is the reason why you keep on seeing these rise in encampments. So I definitely feel you went with that, buddy. Definitely feel what you're saying about the growth of seeing these camps around. That's really it's I've definitely seen it over the years. Me being here as well, definitely seen more and more, and right out in the open on corners of streets, on sides of streets, and so on. Like you said, not hiding under the bridge and stuff like that,
Man,
like it was like 5 years ago.
man. First of all, check. Can you hear me? Can you see
Yeah,
me?
yeah, you
Okay, I
good.
apologize about that. Internet dropped out. Tech is teching, but we're here, and I appreciate you picking it up and adding that. And that's where I was getting at. Like, we talked about homelessness. We've even talked about encampments being closed. Shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bolin. He's done a few good articles on that. But those encampments were kind of ducked off in the back. You never really saw them in the open, and that is changing. And so what does this mean? What does this look like? Where's these people coming from? And to your point, where are they going to go? Because the issue is, and especially when you look at what Trump is doing with DC and possibly other cities with black mayors like Baltimore, like Atlanta,
Mm.
once he starts coming into these areas and purging them of their homeless, where are they going to go?
Yeah. They've asked that question. I've seen that question be asked at news conferences, and they always give the same answer. Well, first we're going to round them up and take them to homeless shelters, and the ones that we can't, fit there are going to end up going to jail. Like they're not even like pulling punches on that. They're just going to tell you they're going to be arrested. It'll be illegal to be homeless, which is crazy. Mark Manners in the chat saying usually there is an encampment over in the corner of Saddle Creek, and they moved right onto the medium there this week. They took a big one down last week, right on Dodge Street. Yeah,
Yep.
naming some spots around town. Kind of reminds me of back in the day when we had the main library downtown. I remember reporting on Mayor Stothard, who was really against having these homeless people sit on the steps. And then there's going to be some stuff that was going to be done to move them here and there. Some laws were passed that it was illegal for you to be standing on the corner panhandling stuff now. I really saw people get swept up in North Omaha, but not really other parts of town so much. And here we are now, 4 or 5 years later, and like Mark Manor saying, encampments are sitting right out on mediums and right on the side of the streets now, and they really haven't done anything about it. And I feel like if there's nothing that's been done about it, or if there's very little that has really worked to help the situation, from coming from the state, that is, then it's like they usually follow suit with this drastic, well, let's just sweep them all up and take them somewhere else, usually the jail.
Man, and I mean, is that what this country is becoming? Is that what this is? Just a prison state? Wrapping up and rounding up illegals and homeless folk and citizens, everyday citizens too, apparently.
And like Marlon Harris was saying, a lot of people they call homeless crazy. Most of these people just fell on bad times, or some of them do have some mental challenges out there as
Mm-hmm.
well. And where are the resources for them?
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's kind of where I want to go next in this conversation, as far as what are the resources, what is being done, especially from the Omaha standpoint. Because again, going back to our conversation with Mayor Ewing, that is something that he addressed as far as the affordable housing part, and he mentioned that he has a plan to have a hundreds of millions of dollars investment into affordable housing, but what does that look like? You even asked the question during that conversation of what is affordable housing, and we kind of got that same old answer, to be honest. 30% of your income. But I mean, if you're homeless, what income do you have? How can you get income? What is the job market really looking like? So, and to your point, what are some of the people dealing with? How easy is it to get a job if you're dealing with schizophrenia? How easy is it to get a job if you're dealing with bipolar disorder?
And some of the jobs out there, if you minimum wage jobs, what's 30% of minimum wage job?
Man, and that part too is people with 2-3 jobs still can't afford an affordable house, quote unquote. And then the prison side of it, yep, pretty much. Linda Lathan in the chat saying, "Yep, each inmate is a paycheck to them."
Yeah,
Man,
Anthony Rogers right before that says, but no one is discussing how many people, mainly white gentrifiers and some and petty bourgeois PG County Negroes, are actually happy with what they are seeing in DC. Imagine the same applies in Omaha.
man. Well, let's get into it. What exactly is going on in Omaha? This this report coming out of WOWT, as far as what the city of Omaha is doing to address the growing number of what they call unsheltered individuals. And again, shout out to Sister Tamara Dwyer, who spoke to, who is the city's homeless services coordinator. She says the majority of reported camps are actually from the southeast part of the city. Second closest was northeast, going to your earlier point, Paul, about where we tend to find these homeless encampments. A few weeks ago, we reported, being WOWT, on camp along Saddle Creek, causing concerns for nearby residents and businesses, and saying we do have a few spots that are more hotspot areas more often than not. But here's the interesting part of this, going back to what Brother Mark Manor is saying about people being cleared out and then popping back up on medians and things like that, and going along to the point of where do they have to go? Because even when these areas are being cleaned out by the city, they're returning. According to Dwyer, she says they went around several blocks and ended up back there because they still didn't have a place to go, because the encampment is on public property. The city says individuals are actually legally allowed to stay, a situation that continues to frustrate business owners in neighborhoods. Again, some of that a few of you have touched on Friends of in conversation. And again, this is a growing concern, not just in Omaha, but across the nation. Mayor Ewing, addressing the issue, says if you just take them off the street and you don't provide them with a wraparound service, you're not solving the problem. He says we're trying to do everything we can to prioritize. So again, we're hearing more and more about these wraparound services. The idea is being like, kind of, when you think about the kid jail, that was supposed to be a facility for wraparound services, to again address family issues. Also, Senator McKinney recently passing the family, I forget the actual term of it, but the family success centers. So are we going in that direction? Hopefully, echoing that from Mayor Ewing, is the same tone that he said he had when we spoke to him. Again, I am hopeful on that. But again, a growing issue. What say you, Paul?
Yeah, I was just thinking about wraparound services. Specifically, what I have experience with is working with the 180 Rap program over at
Hey,
Metropolitan Community College. We did some documentary work for them, and they had on a particular program called the Life program, which is even more wraparound than the 180 program. It really, when people are transitioning from prison life, being inside into back into the neighborhoods, basically, they need help from head to toe. Sometimes they need clothing, they need toiletries, they need rides to their job, rides to the place that they are going to go live. They need halfway houses. They need all kinds of different. They need housing. They need so many things. It's just like if you were to come out of jail and you were to get back with your family, and you may have to stay with your mom and dad now for a while, or whatever the deal. It's one of them kind of situations where you got to start from scratch. And usually our families, in best case scenarios, our families are the ones that help us with the kind of wraparound services that everybody is talking about when they talk about wraparound. But a lot of people don't have families that can help them do those things. So when we talk about wraparound services, it's not just give them a couple bucks or find them a place to live. It's you start from zero, and you need help to get up off the ground. And like I said, that is all the only programs that I really see that offer those kinds of extreme wraparound programs so far for me has been the 180 the life program at 180 Wrap MCC reentry program. What happens with families that aren't coming out of jail though? What are the wraparound services for people that have to start from zero because they're houseless at the time? So these are questions that we come up all the time, and it just feels like we're in a state sometimes that does not want to provide anything. I can't unsee that one representative that was saying, if you're you won't get free health care, hollering, screaming, you won't get free health care. Just the attitude of not wanting to help people that are in trouble, and nobody should get anything for free, and it's your fault that you're out there, and just the whole attitude is insane. I complain about the parental nature, this kind of paternal thing that this state has for people in this state, but it's also like the tough love parental state. Like, get out at 18. I don't care if you got to start from scratch. You don't get no help. You know, it's a dichotomy, because on one hand they want to act like your parent for every move and everything you do. On the other hand, they don't want to help like a parent. It's a trip.
It's an interesting point, which actually kind of brings up a thought that I've been having. And it's not even a thread that I planned on getting into in this show, but here we are, live conversation. It's happening right now. But we talk about all of these things and we know that they're connected, but it really hit me as I was thinking about it a few days ago. Like, when we talk about getting into the foster system, and individuals dealing with the foster system and having to deal with DHHS and the shambles that is the welfare system, or mental health, which is still managed by DHHS, and the lack of mental health resources. We talk about the lack of resources in schools. We talk about recidivism, and it really hit me, like, although we're talking about these different, we're really a lot of times talking about the same person. This is the same person.
Wow.
Like, how much overlap in these areas are we talking about? The person that is dealing with recidivism, let's look into the research and do the numbers, but I got an inkling that the percentage of people who are dealing with recidivism are the same people who at one time dealt with homelessness, same people who at one time struggle with getting resources for mental health, same people who struggle with a stable home life as a child. And it just kind of comes to mind right now, like, even going along with what you're saying with these representatives who don't want to help people, who actually Nebraska Examiner reported, even when people do get active and do vote and do say what they want, the elected officials go against it and try to undermine it. So not only do they not want to help, but even when you figure out something that can help you, they want to undermine it. And these are the same people crying about crime. Please make it make sense.
I want to jump into the chat a little bit, man. Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head right now, buddy, for sure. Anthony Rogers Wright says, if only there was a brand new empty building that isn't being used, costing the county $20,000 a month, that could be used as a short-term solution for houseless folks and families. Boy, I tell you, we find all the solutions right here on First Guy Omaha in the morning, bro. Oh, for real, for real. Also, Mark Manor, you were talking about businesses earlier that are having some issues with people. Mark Manor says, I have houseless person on the steps of the store right now. Or remember, Homer's, get your get your
Hey.
final collection right. Homer's Recasto, he says, they're camped out they're camped out of the rain. He and much of the homeless in the old market needs mental health assistance. So
To my
this is a
point.
brother that's there every day, working in the business in the old market, seeing what's going on. That if he's camping out on the step, I can't imagine that because it's only one little step to get into the store. So where is he camped out at? You got to step over the brother. What's happening over there with that? But he's offering some firsthand information. I'm sure that he's talked to people that are there, and he's finding out some of them need mental health assistance, which is what I'm really on that part because every time I give a dollar or talk to somebody or even I would give rides from time to time to people that look like they're trying to get somewhere, and everybody I talk to has had some issues. It's not just folks that are down on their luck and something's going on. They got some issues that they can't get the help for. That's what's killed. What's crazy to me is that they can't get the mental help. They can't get the help that they need because, and it's now we're wrapping back around to the healthcare system and how you can't even afford to get help in the
Man.
first place. So where are these people? You're right. It might be the same person. Where are these people going to get any help? Is a really good question. Also, Heather Williams is giving us some information here. Appreciate that. She says Open Door and Francis House have wraparound services. Good to
Nice.
know. Good to know. She says there are mental health services, housing assistance, and drug rehab. We need more. Long waiting lists sometimes discourage the houseless from signing up. Okay, so the resources are there of the people that are doing the work, but if we need more of these facilities, if we need more help, then that's to me where maybe the state should kind of kick in and help with that. If you ask me,
Mm.
because what are you going to do? I mean, what's killing me is that what is the solution for this problem that you think is a problem here? You won't start at the problem where, what is causing these people to be houseless in the first place? Like, why wouldn't you start there? Not how you gonna clean up the houselessness. Makes no sense. Linda Lathan in the chat says, "Remember when they changed our slogan, Nebraska is not for everybody or whatever? They really meant that."
Man.
That's one of the worst slogans that anybody's ever come up with for a state. I've never heard anybody have the audacity to have that bad of a slogan. And I don't care that I'm saying that. Whoever there might be Chad Chimers or ghost listeners that came up with that because there was committees around town that sat down to come up with these slogans. Nebraska, it's not for everyone.
Man.
Is insane, but it's the most honest slogan I've ever heard for a state as well. Like they ain't pulling no punches with that one. You're right. It, they probably didn't mean it as deeply as they should as it is, but but you're so right. It's not for everybody.
Is a Freudian slip? Mm-hmm.
Mark Manor says it's covered. He's talking about the entrance there to the store. He said he's just out of the rain, but yeah, sometimes I step around him. He says he knows he can hang out until 10, and I'm fine. He cleans up, so no worries for me. So shout out to Mark Manor for this is a business owner that cares about something. Appreciate you, bro, for real.
Unfortunately, I would go on a limb and say he might be in the minority of business owners that feels that way about the situation.
That's right. And if I need a Prince album, I'm stepping over whoever's there in the first place. It don't matter to me either. So that's what it is. Marlon Harrison says that when my uncle came back to Omaha over the summer, he was shocked how bad 30th and Ames had gotten. Interesting. Okay. Well, let us know what parts he felt shocked about. Also, Juan Luz is giving us a good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you very much. 7:46 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, I think.
Yeah, I think
7:40 something. 7:48.
There you go.
You believe in the concept of time. If you're just joining us, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Gawd.
Hey.
And we're anticipating our special guest, Kimberly Sherrod, on today. So stay tuned for this special guest that we're going to have on. She's from the Native Omahans Club. We're definitely going to continue to talk about what went down with the Native Omaha Days just passed. 25-year anniversary, 50 years in action. The Native Omaha Days, biggest one yet. And there was a lot of factors to it. And if you remember, we had Vicky Quates on from the planning from the committee, the Native Omaha Committee Festival Committee, and we talked about the differences between the committee and the club. And now we're going to have Kimberly Sherrod on to talk about the club and what's going on with that and what the future of the club is and so on and so forth. So highly anticipating that interview. So stay tuned for that. And we're right. If you're just joining us, we're right in the middle of talking about a lot of things. This space is the place. This is season
Mhm.
3B, so we're talking about spaces, places, the gentrification of Omaha, especially North Omaha in general. And we kind of started with this homeless discussion because of what's going on around the country, and what we're looking at facing here, which is a kind of a war on the homeless that's going
Yeah.
on. Appreciate all your comments and everything that you guys are talking about. Again, Mark Manor says, honestly, a lot of old market businesses are pretty good. Scooters is one that is really good with homeless persons. Nice. Good
Yeah.
to hear.
I mean, I actually don't see, business owners in the old market per se, being hostile. I mean, because that's kind of been a hot spot for homelessness as far as the old market downtown area, hop, skip, and a jump from the Sienna Francis house, just that no-do area.
Mhm,
It's been there. I'm thinking of, along Saddle Creek, Dodge, some of those areas
mhm.
where you might see business owners have seen business owners get hostile towards our
Have you?
homeless brothers and sisters.
I haven't really seen that. I saw, yeah, for the most part, I see even on those mediums and stuff right around that Saddle Creek Cummings area, that they're always camped out. I always see everybody kind of stopping and breaking off a couple bucks for them, and not really a whole lot of people running out shooing them off. But again, like you said, it could be business owners if they're around where the businesses are that are doing that. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
More so where my mind is. But again, what is the solution to your point? It's funny because I have a thread as far as what the city solution is, but it's almost
Hmm.
like is that really the solution? Should that be the conversation? So, let's go ahead and dive into it. I guess as
Okay.
far as the affordable housing side of it,
I
because
want to
that
know now.
I mean, that's the response that we're seeing immediately as far as, trying to combat this whole homeless situation. Is it a limited number of housing like options? Is it just not
Mm,
enough units available for
mm,
people? Is that what the issue is? And this again coming from Nebraska Examiner earlier this month. Going along with what Mayor Ewing had mentioned when we spoke to him about the hundreds of millions of dollars in investment in affordable housing. Again, Nebraska's largest city, being Omaha, would add an estimated 1,900 affordable housing units to its urban core, being north, south, central Omaha, with a $40 million boost tied to the property tax growth expected from Omaha's controversial streetcar project. So again, some of the money coming from the streetcar apparently is being flipped into affordable housing. The dwellings will be a mix of rental, for sale, and rehab properties in a approximately 770 block area around the streetcar's initial downtown midtown route. So you're thinking areas like Dundee, kind of, or not necessarily Dundee, along the Farnham area, Midtown, along the Dodge area, kind of those areas of town being renovated. Also, Mary Ewing and Jody Holston, who's Front Porch's executive director, which we don't talk enough about Front Porch, but definitely have to dive more into what they're doing. They say they laid out more details of the vision that Mary Ewing shared with the Nebraska Examiner. It comes as, again, Nebraska's statewide towns continue to seek ways to tackle what 2023 state report deemed a housing crisis. Again, the report said that the state's economic future hinged on solutions and called for goals, including cutting the share of low to moderate income households paying more than 30%, which again is the arbitrary threshold for quote unquote affordable housing. But again, 2,000 housing units. Is that the solution that we all hope to see in our community?
Well, I think it will help. We definitely need more units for sure. That's definitely part of the situation. I got the impression when we had this interview with Mary Ewing that there was even more things there. It was not a cut and dry. This is what we're going to do for houseless situations. It was a comprehensive thing where there was going to be some other help for families, and there was going to be some things surrounding this too, not just building of units. So I have to go back and kind of look and see what was mentioned, but I kind of got the impression that at least the mayor understood that there was more factors involved here than just whether or not there was enough units out there. We all know there's several factors. We talked about joblessness. We talked about
Mhm.
poverty and income and so on and so forth being a factor for all this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down this time, brother Anthony Rogers. If you in the chat, let me know what we're saying instead of affordable housing. Again, I keep on missing your quote and not writing it down, but I'm set up to write it down now. We're not saying affordable housing anymore. We're saying what? Let us know. Also, Marlon Harris in the chat is saying he was shocked about the homeless camps and the drug addicts that came up to him at timeout and Phil's Foodway asking him for money. Talking about his uncle that came back for Native Omaha Days. I was kind of shocked to see how bad things were, like up on 30th Street. I definitely have seen the difference myself. I've been shop at Baker's from time to time on 72nd, and there was the guy in one time that was walking around the store, inside the store, asking for $1. For people, and really aggressively too. Like he had already kind of been on one that morning. Was you got $1, up in your face, and I kind of looked around like I think I was fearing that the store owner was going to come out and kind of throw him out pretty aggressively. They had an armed guard by the door, of course, so that was kind of a little bit of an issue. But for the most part, the store employees and managers and stuff left him alone. They just kind of let him do that until he kind of was done and kind of walked out. So again, another example. I kind of feel like, and I go to that grocery store a lot, so I kind of feel like I know some of the employees there, and they're struggling too. Everybody's struggling and feeling for folks because we're seeing everybody struggling out here. It's kind of a big deal. I appreciate that. Low and moderate income housing or social housing works too. Okay, I'm writing it down this time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes more sense. What's 30% of nothing?
Yeah, for real. And anyway, what's 30% of most jobs out there as well? Like that's the other point I'm trying to make. You can have a whole full-time job and still not make enough money to have 30% of your income cover the housing, even at the low end of it. It's just there's no way you can talk about affordable housing or solving this problem without solving some kind of income problem, without
Right.
you know what I'm saying,
Right.
or help for people that really don't have the capacity or the ability to bring in the income. Everybody can't bring in an income at the same rate. It just can't happen that way. So I appreciate everybody's comments on this, all the good comments that we're talking about here. We'll get to it. We're going to continue that conversation, this thread a little bit later on in the show, because we have our special guest that's coming through here pretty soon, waiting in the wings, and we're gonna have a nice discussion there because there's a lot of I saw a lot of changes that were made in North Omaha, knowing that Native Omaha Days was coming up. And I can see, people kind of getting their houses together and buildings together, knowing that there was going to be cruising up and down the street, and everybody's food trucks and everything there was a purpose for us to get some things together around there. But there was still the issues and the problems and the people that were hanging out that was there because we're in a situation where we see a lot of that in Northeast Omaha. A lot of the people who are in houseless situations, a lot more people walking the streets in the summertime. A lot of people who are suffering with mental illnesses and things like that are out. And for the most part, I saw the love. I saw the love for the community. I saw even people who are having problems. I felt like we're all in a situation right now where we're all hurting. Everybody's struggling. So I've been seeing way more empathy on the street for people that are struggling than I've probably ever seen, to be honest. Or maybe I'm just noticing it now. I'm not sure. But we'll definitely come back and talk about this a little bit later on because I want to also make sure that we give some really good time to talk about the Native Omaha Days that just passed. It was such a huge, beautiful event, and it really gave me hope for what every 2 years it happens. It gives me hope for what we can be doing in North Omaha.
Man.
But this one especially was off the hook for me in a big way.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break and we'll come in and we'll bring our special guest in and we'll have some conversation on that if you don't mind. We appreciate everybody that's joining us here. And oh, there it is. Okay, and we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break and come right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning,
all Beee, buddy to God,
man.
All of you, Chad Chalmers, Ghost listeners. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Tech be teching.
Tech be teching. Still teching. Let's go, Tech. Look at that. Did you see that? See how the Tech was teching on that? Let's see if it works. Wow. Okay. You didn't see any part of that commercial there?
I did, but it was in.
Okay, so you saw what I saw.
Yeah, it happened. That's why I'm laughing.
Wow. Look at this. Restream, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. My goodness. All right. For real though, we'll take a quick break. We'll make a break of our own and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Omaha, get ready to groove. The Love 'em Jazz Festival is back.
Welcome back.
Man, is it Monday?
Man.
Is it Monday?
It could be what the problem is. It's Monday. For real.
Okay, so the Mondays. Let me find a printer.
Well, hopefully the tech will not be teching. Will we have our next guest come in because we want to make sure that we have a really great conversation with her. We appreciate everybody that stuck around. This is now the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
We're going to start it off right with our special guest, Kimberly Sherrod, in the chat. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Doing all right.
I'm so happy now that I can hear and see you.
Was having some problems, huh? It's Monday. It's Monday.
It's Monday, and it's the nature of live. It just is what it is. But we felt like the live is still super important for us to do because it's authentic. They're hearing it in real time. What's going on here? So we're going to continue with this live, and luckily we have some great Chad Chimers and Ghost listeners that allow us some grace when tech starts checking. So
good.
Well, but good morning to you. Appreciate you coming in on the show this morning. How are you, by the way?
I'm doing well. It's a Monday. I'm ready to already plug away to get to Friday. So we here.
Fired up. You get fired up on a Monday, huh? Okay.
Right.
I still be like, man, I wish it was still Sunday every time. Yeah, for real. Well, good. I really appreciate you coming through. Please introduce yourself and what you do here for the people that don't know who you are yet.
Yeah, so I am Kimberly Sherrod Barnes. I am president of the Native Omahans Club for context of today's show. But outside of that, I was born and raised in North Omaha, went through all of OPS school, work in child welfare, and that's truly my passion, but also giving back to the community is something that has always been near and dear to my heart. So I'm a North High alum, and I always like to say that because I don't know who's listening, but if there's any Vikings in the building, I am one, and I am president of the North High Foundation as well. So Visa. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's it. Yeah.
I need to holler at you. I'm trying to get back in contact with my alma mater.
Oh, well, yeah, you need to. And we're working on that to streamline that process. So we'll definitely have a conversation about that. So
let's do it.
Well, right on. I feel left out that I didn't get to go to Omaha North. My sister did though. So I'm a V by proxy.
There you go.
Okay, you can get 50% credit. That's all you can get. You can't get 100. We'll give you 50. We'll give you 50.
That'll work. Well, I appreciate you coming on this morning. We definitely want to talk about, first of all, just want to thank you for all the work that you put in for Native Omaha Days. This was the best one yet, as far as I'm concerned. And I've been to a few. So I felt like Native Omaha Days for just by itself. I forget that sometimes I'll lose a little hope about what's going to happen in North Omaha. I don't really call it that. It just kind of leaves my mind a little bit. And then every time Native Omaha Days hits, it's like, oh, that's right. We got this going on. This is what's up out here. It's such a good thing to do. It's one of the most inventive gatherings I've ever seen in any place I've ever lived. And I live all around the world. And I really feel like it's such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm glad the founders got honored this time around. this just the idea of if anybody knows anything about me, I'm all about living alive with one another and the family reunion and getting together and being face to face. And
Absolutely.
this is not just a family reunion; it's like a city family reunion, and it's
Mhm.
just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So thank you for all the help you put this thing together. We really appreciate everything that's going on with your work with that. How long
Mhm.
have you been in the position of putting these on?
So I joined the club in 2021 and became president of the club in 2022, but
Okay.
definitely was privy to the heritage and the historical context of Native Omaha Day since I was a little girl. So just to have the ability to serve in this capacity, it has been very, very well received by me, and being accepted is amazing.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Beautiful.
That's what's up.
Beautiful. Yeah. Is there any relation to the founders?
No relation to the founders at all. Just being able to share their bloodline and their vision in terms of the Native Omaha Club is as close proximity as I am to them, but no blood relation.
Okay. Okay. Well, really, I mean, to that point, Omaha cousins. And
Right.
you think actually thinking
I'm
of
sure if you
dozen.
dig enough, yeah, you probably would be a fifth or sixth cousin down the line somewhere. But yeah, absolutely. That's how
Right.
Omaha
Right.
is threaded.
And you
Mm-hmm.
think of the dozens of cousins who actually do have a family reunion during the Native Omaha Days. You kind of
Yep.
think it really is a big family reunion.
Yeah.
So to that point, I mean, we kind of spoke about that and why Native Omaha Day is important to us. Like Paul mentioned, you're reminded of the greatness that is North Omaha. But
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to hear from you, like to your perspective. Why is it so important to not only celebrate something like North Omaha, but for you to actually take leadership and lead that charge and get active in protecting that vision.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is protecting the vision is because it's two Black women, and that started Native Omaha Days as well as Native Omahans Club. And
Mhm.
Mm,
so I don't want us ever to forget that. And so when I became president, or when they elected me to be president, that was one of the first things that came to my mind was how can we highlight these two Black women who took it upon themselves to start an organization that is definitely slated to celebrate us in our own community. It was never the intention to make it, it's big, of course, but we never want to leave the roots of why it exists. And that's simply to celebrate those that live in North Omaha and those that have left and have come back, just to celebrate and see their demographics and how it's grown. And so my ability to step into that lane has been fruitful to me because I've born and raised in North Omaha. I know what it looked like when I was a little girl and hearing my parents and my family talk about, Native Omaha Days and being on the Deuce. Back then it was the Deuce 4. They didn't leave the 4 out. I
Mm.
remember my dad driving down 24th Street and I'm in the backseat of the Thunderbird and just seeing all the camaraderie that was happening between us. And so when I was given the opportunity to join the club, I thought this is my chance to give back and to reintroduce what the real reason Native Omaha Days is for. And I think we had lost that a little bit when we talk
Mm.
about the events and such, which is all very important because it's a celebratory event. However, there was two Black women who started this way back in the 70s, which was unheard of. And their ability to see it all the way now, we're in 2025, and they created this legacy in the historical context of Omaha Days and why we need to commune and fellowship together. I didn't want us to leave that behind. And so that was my plight as president, is to bring that back and educate others to why Native Omaha Days exist.
Beautiful, beautiful. And one of the things, I'm glad you took us back, because that's one of the, and this is in this season, space is a place we kind of are looking and traveling between physical space, abstract space, time. And that's one thing that Native Omaha Days does, kind of took us down memory lane. Also
Mhm,
highlighted what's going on right now, the
mhm,
development, all the things that are going on. But on today's show, we're talking about homelessness, or we're talking about development, and what is the future of North Omaha look like,
mhm,
and
mhm,
how do we maintain this legacy? This is something that
mhm,
I've felt here on the show, having conversations like, what would it look like 10, 20 years from now with a North Omaha Days on 120th? Like, is that
mhm,
a possibility? And how do we keep North Omaha North Omaha? What are your
mhm,
feelings about that?
mhm. And I think it's education, right?
Mm.
I think people need to understand what happened in the 70s, why Native Omaha Days began, and then here we are now. And it's all about the ability to also do some succession planning, because if people don't understand the why behind the impact and the intent, then we're going to lose it. And North Omaha is the why. It was never intended to be beyond that. And we need to educate as to why it was there. North Omaha back in the 70s and the 80s is where we were. We didn't need to really go outside of much of anything back during those times. And I remember being able to walk to Baker's off of 24th Street when it was there, when I was a little girl. So all the things related to the history of 24th Street needs to be reintroduced, even in the event that we expand beyond that. The root and the reason for Native Omaha Days is North Omaha, is 24th Street, and it's for us. Remember, it was we talk about FUBU. I hate to steal their line, but it's for us, by us. That's what it is. You can come and you can celebrate with us in our community, but we never wanted to go outside of that. That is the foundation, is North Omaha, is 24th Street, even in the rebuilding process. There's a lot of history there, and we don't want to leave that behind as we celebrate Omaha Days.
Okay. It's hitting me right now. So even Omaha Days is really one of the reasons behind it is because we want people that have moved out of town to come back home and be around loved ones too. So even if a lot of us have moved away from the area, it really doesn't matter because it's about that celebrating the history of that area along with the gathering. Okay, that makes sense.
Correct. And so when I hear people say, oh, it should be as big as Cinco de Mayo, or in comparisons to Maha, all the other festivals that exist, keep in mind, Cinco de Mayo is a national cultural holiday for the Latino and Hispanic culture. And I respect that, and I love what they do. The context of Native Omaha Days is for North Omaha. It is for 24th Street. So we have to build the history there. And anything that branches outside of that, we cannot leave that context behind. And so when I hear that comparison, I'm like, let's think about that for a second. When Miss Betty McDonald and Miss Vera Johnson started Native Omaha Days, their sole intent was to keep people rooted and planted in their North Omaha community and to celebrate that. Even if you move to California, Georgia, Texas, wherever, the ability to come back and see what started it all in your career, in your family ties, whatever, is North 24th Street, is North Omaha. So when you're celebrating in memory lane of that, you want to stay in that celebratory spirit because that's what the intent was. It was never any intent beyond that. And when you read the archives and how Native Omaha Days began, that was the underlying reason. We want to commune and fellowship together. Even if you leave, we want you to come back and celebrate your roots. And that's what Omaha Days is all about.
Yeah. I'm even thinking about it as, someone I'm in Atlanta right now. So someone who has left Omaha, and what it means for me coming back during Omaha, like that, a part of that is my reason for coming back is Omaha Days. And, going to Timeout, going to Big Mama's, having that home to go back to means so much. It means so much. So, and losing things like the stage 2, losing, like really seeing my home disappear is scary.
It is. Yeah.
And as far as, so I know Omaha Club, the Native Omaha Club, you're moving into doing things year round, scholarships and other things to not just celebrate every other year. So what do you see that role, as far as continuing throughout the year, not just every other year, but really pushing that line as far as keeping North Omaha and the history, the feeling that, what we know North Omaha as, keeping that integrity?
So keeping the integrity involves exactly what you said, is to continue to give back on the off year of Omaha Days. And the Native Omaha Club does that. We do the scholarship for graduating seniors that are going on to post-secondary education, whether that's a 2-year or 4-year, because we do understand not every student is meant to go to school for 4 years. And we overlook the trades. And so being able to give back in that regard and letting students know, even if you want to do a trade, there's an ability to get some funding from the Native Omaha's Club by scholarship. And then we also do what's called Winter Wonderland, where we give gifts to anyone that lives in North Omaha if they come to our Winter Wonderland, and we have gifts, we face painting, we have bouncy houses. We do all those things to reach out to individuals who may not have the means to buy a gift for their child or their loved one, during the Christmas or the holiday season. And then we do Palm Sunday, which is another one of our legacy events that was rooted by our founders. And as you can tell, for even Omaha Days, we jump it off with Gospel Fest. They were very in tune to how can we start something off in the vein of love. In North Omaha is a lot of love. Sometimes media will shed light that it's not. In North Omaha has a lot of love for each other. We have a lot of talent. We are a community. We take care of each other. And being able to have those conversations in the off year to prep for Omaha Days, I think is very influential and important when we talk to others who really don't understand why Omaha Days happens and what's the importance of North Omaha. That 1 week of Native Omaha Days sheds a lot of light on the North Omaha community. However, in the off year, there's still a lot of light to be shed. And we try to do that by way of our events that we have and still talking about, the nature of Native Omaha Days and why that's intertwined on the off year.
That's good to know. I wasn't clear on what exactly Native Omaha Days Club did besides the event. So it's good to know that there's some things that's happening there. Where is my question about the club? First of all, just about the club. Where is how's the funding work? Where does the funding come from to fund these kinds of activities and scholarships and things like that throughout the year?
So we have donors. We've had very good conversations with donors. We all know that we have a very philanthropic community. There's a lot of giving being done, but I'm one that believes in giving transformational, not transactional. I don't want you to just give me money and walk away. I want to build a relationship with you so you understand the why behind what we do. It's not just give me the money and go away. So we have donors that we talk to about Native Omaha Days, the importance of the historical context of Native Omaha Days, the culture related to that. So we have stakeholders that support us. And this year for 2025 for Native Omaha Days, there was quite a few that stepped up and said, how can we support? And we were able to garner some dollars from that way. But then we're also a membership club. And so everyone has to pay to be a part of the club. And so we also use those dollars. But our day party, our New Year's Eve day party that we hold funds our scholarship. And it's been very well received. And we're able to this year, we're going to give quite a bit of scholarships away in 2026 because of the community. These were people who attended our day party and understood why they were giving. And some gave over and beyond the $10 that we were asking for upon entry for our day party. And so that again speaks to the community wanting to give back. They just don't understand the why. And so we've made it very clear when you give to the Native Omaha Club, these are the things that you're giving to, and here's the why behind it with integrity and being authentic about the use of the dollars.
And that day party, is that every year?
It's every year. And this year it's on the 27th of December. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I'm learning something new. So I'm starting to really kind of understand a little bit about the reason why there's all this talk. First of all, if you guys are just joining us, it's 8:17 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're with Ms. Kimberly Sherrod, who is are you the executive director of Native Omaha Days, or what's
president of the Native Omahans Club?
President of the Native Omahans Club. I had to fix my flyer 3 or 4 times to put that Omahans on it.
Yes, that's it. Native Omahans.
Omahans.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on, and of course we have you on because a lot of the stuff. There's been a lot in the news. We kind of got to get to it a little bit too, just for the sake of time. But one of the first things that is hit our community as far as news is concerned was this idea that there's the Native Omaha Club, and then there's the Native Omaha Festival Committee. We had on Miss Vicki Quates to talk about some of the work that they are doing there. And we definitely want to hear from you. Now, I'm starting to understand a little bit more from just understanding that there's so many events and things that we need to raise money for and stuff like that throughout the year for Native Omaha Days Club, Native Omaha Days Club. And, as far as scholarships and all these things are concerned, and that may be one of the reasons why you have been calling for a little bit of separation between events that are not sanctioned by Native Omaha Club and other ones that are associated with the Native Omaha Week, but are on their own. And I was wondering why there was such a separation, because it feels like Native Omaha Days is growing, and it's growing because of us. It's not like gentrifiers are coming in and setting up shop for us. It feels like we are expanding it out to the white party and the this and the that and the other thing, and slapping the Native Omaha Days logo on that. So first of all, what's the difference there? The separation. Why is there separation? What is each organization supposed to do? And why is it that there needs to be a distinction between the legacy events and other events that are happening?
So very good question. So I'll try to summarize this as succinct as possible. So the organizing committee stepped in to support the club in 2015. In 2015, because there was some older members and the demise happened. Remember earlier I said about succession planning. We forget that, and we forget to reach back to the younger generation so that we don't have a decline in membership and such. So the decline happened, and because of that decline, there was probably not going to be a Native Omaha Days for a lot of reasons. There's a lot more behind that. But the gist of it was they were supposed to, the club members at that time handpicked community members to support the Native Omahans Club during the demise of membership so that we could have a Native Omaha Days. These community members said, yes, we never want that to happen. Let's support. So that's how the evolution of the organizing committee began. I also want to tag that when the Native Omaha Club began, our two founders, they called themselves a planning committee. So let's put that in context. So there was a planning committee that evolved into the Native Omahans Club. The committee went away because of the club. So now here we are in 2015, the organizing committee stepped in, they supported by way of garnering the club so that we can continue to do Native Omaha Days. As the club continued to grow, 2017, 2019, 2021, I joined in some other members. We realized at that point, because of the history, because of the legacy, the Native Omaha Club was somehow getting pushed down. So people were losing the sight of why the club exists, which is not only for Omaha Days, but for other reasons in the community we exist. So we separate ourselves for that reason. We are the legacy organization. We are the 501c3. We are the organization that our founders found in 1977. So because of that, we try to make sure people understand where we stand. And the reason why all these events happened is because of the Native Omahans Club and Omaha Days. You can't talk about one and not the other. And so be able to distinctly say the organizing committee, to my understanding, when I became a member of the club, was only supposed to provide infrastructure. Infrastructure included the safety and the cleanliness of the week. Because of the reach and the excitement, you know what happens sometimes. People see other fruit on the tree and they want to grab it. And so the organizing committee began to grab other fruit in terms of having events and such that would bump up against the signature events of the Native Omahans Club.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they were happening at the same time.
Yeah. So for example, the Dreamland Park event that happened at 7 p.m. on that Saturday was adjacent to the signature event that the Native Omahans Club holds on Saturday. So the two weren't supposed to happen at the same time, but unfortunately it did. And it did. No disrespect to the organizing committee. I'm very appreciative of the things that they've done to uphold the legacy. But there was some contention with that because without having a written contract or an agreement, sometimes things are done when they shouldn't be. And so me being president and other club members, we understand the nature of business. So currently there is not an operating memorandum of understanding or MOA, a memorandum of agreement or collaborative partnership. There's nothing in writing. And so for that to happen, we are not really operating in terms of a solid partnership, but aligning each other so that we can somehow come together and put on Native Omaha Days. But the separation comes from the founders found Native Omahans Club, the founders found Native Omaha Days, and because of that, we are the legacy organization that determines the week of celebration and all things related to that week.
So is there any conversation to establish an MOU or MOA at some point?
It is. We've had a meeting recently about that so that we can respectfully stay in the lanes that we design as a collaboration. but with the understanding that the Native Omahans Club is the legacy and the historical holder of Omaha Days. All the archives and such belong to the Native Omahans Club. And so when we talk about those things, it's no disrespect at all to the organizing committee. It's merely from a business standpoint, making sure all listeners understand the historical context of Omaha Days and who it rightfully belongs to, which is the Native Omahans Club.
Yeah, I definitely can see getting outside of the signature events, it can easily become just, oh, it's the comedy show, it's the white party, it's about, it becomes about the festivities and the party, and you lose the why. And to your point, that's when the community and the heart and soul of the whole thing just kind of falls by the wayside.
Correct.
So
And
I
also,
am I am happy to see that y'all are in conversations, because it did feel, although there was a lot going on, it did feel kind of out of whack, and you weren't able to really fully enjoy the week as you could have had there been more organization, more collaboration on as far as the events go. But Paul.
yeah, although I will say, I really do feel like me and everybody that I talked to that engaged definitely felt, if you asked them what was their favorite moments, what was their favorite things they did, it was a mixture between the legacy events and other events as well. But as an organizer myself, as a person who's been a promoter for years on events, it is very important that the events that are signature to an organization do not clash with another organization's events. Just in general, we believe this in general. We just had our what we call our Chat Chimers Kickback, which is a event that we put on every year. We found out it was the same day as Sherman Wells Untamed, and we decided to collaborate that day to get in, and so that nobody had to miss nothing to see each other's thing. And so we really believe that that's to put that kind of thought in mind. So hopefully, if anybody is listening to us and at least listening to anything I got to say, which I wouldn't don't know why they would, but if they did, I would say maybe keep that in mind, is that there could be this expansion of some of these events from other organizations, because we only been talking about the two organizations, but there's actually like a third kind of unofficial group of events that had nothing to do with either the committee or the club that are still considered Native Omaha Days Club. So if we can all understand and respect the legacy and not put events on the same times as the legacy events, and still participate maybe, and then so that everybody can really enjoy all of it, if that's what they want to do, then that might be the solution you guys talk about in there today. So I really appreciate that. First of all, like Buddy said, that there's some conversation happening. We saw your posts. We saw the post from Precious McKesson. We had Miss Vicky Quates on, like we said, from the committee. So we're hearing all sides, and us experiencing it, understanding that the whole experience was incredible from all sides. And really and was really hoping that there would be some conversation and some collaboration that can result in that, because we also see like as far as the committee is concerned too, like if there hadn't been the law enforcement angle, if there hadn't been the cleanup angle, some of those things that are there too, and we haven't really talked about where they raised the funds for that, but whatever they had to do in order to get some of that together, that was totally necessary for everything else that was going on. And just as much as the Native Omaha Club legacy events are crucial, just as much as like the bouncy house for all the kids, that area that we went to, I saw an amazing area where all the bouncy houses were. I don't think that was the Native Omaha Club sanctioned thing, was it? Was thing for the kids?
So there were two. There was one that was held by the organizing committee, and there was one from another community-led effort. So there was two different ones, but yeah.
Plenty of stuff to do for the kids, which we were very, very happy about too. So I didn't feel like there was some disorganization or there was some stuff going on. Of course, I didn't make all the legacy events either, which now I'm seeing is a important thing to really make sure that we do. I also am learning so much from you right now about all of it. Marlon Harrison in the chat is asking, can you explain the membership process of the club? Because I had no idea that you can become a member and have dues and the whole night. Had no idea that was happening.
Yeah, and so again, this is a part of the education, because when I was growing up, I didn't know either. It was almost like a quiet society of people that was putting on Native Omaha Days, but it is a membership organization. You pay your $150 dues. we're having a membership drive in October. And how you get into the club is you have to be recommended by an existing club member.
Nice.
And the reason why we do that is because we all know when there's these great events, people want to jump in when it's fun. But we do work. There's a lot of work behind the scenes with the scholarship, with the Winter Wonderland, with Palm Sunday, and any other one-off that we can commit ourselves to. And so that it is a membership organization, and it has been since it began in 1977. And so just educating people on that. Yes, you have to be a member of the club. We don't just meet 6 months before Omaha Days. We meet every month, every calendar year. And when Omaha Days happen, we meet more often because of Omaha Days. But there's a lot that we do outside of that, and we are a membership organization. And the membership drive is going to be October 17th. And so more information will come out of that in terms of location and time for that.
I love it. I'm all about club culture, and I love one of the attitudes with the club culture sometimes is you got to be recommended by somebody in the club to join. That's classic club behavior. I love it.
Yeah, because you get some people that just want to plug it in on their resume, and I get that because we all want to do something that's going to stretch us career wise and get us in another level of monetary gain, things like that. But the club is a membership organization, and we work. It's not like we just do Omaha Days and we go away. We stick around.
We understand now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8:30 right now. If you believe in concept of time, people just joining us. We're speaking with Kimberly Sherrod, who is the president of the Native Omahans Club Incorporated. And we really appreciate you coming on and laying some of these things out and clearing some things up. Ms. Kimber says, I definitely appreciate the clarification, Kim. Thank you for everything you were doing. Appreciate that too.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Marla Harrison said we need to go into the schools and teach younger generations about the history of Native Omaha Days. I heard that.
Man.
Yes.
All about that.
Absolutely.
Man.
One more thing I want to get into before we let you go, though. We have to address that there were some situations that happened what we consider around Native Omaha Days, because we're in the media, and our perspective is that we felt like the mainstream media was trying to paint a picture about Native Omaha Days that we didn't agree with. We were there. There were some things that happened, but things happen when there's not Native Omaha Days going on. There's things that just happen. And as far as we're concerned, this was one of the most successful Native Omaha Day weeks that we've ever seen when it comes to the safety issue, when it comes to all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So people, but I did see you go on though in an interview and say, and kind of express your condolences for the families and that this was a thing that kind of marred the week a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, were you just kind of speaking in the moment, or do you feel like that was a reflection of what happened? And how do you feel about it now? Of course, we're talking about the young man who lost his life after midnight on the last day of Native Omaha Days. There was also a shooting of some people that happened up on 30th Street after hours, 2-3 in the morning on another day. And of course, because those things happen in North Omaha around Native Omaha Days, it seemed to be associated with it. People have been associating it with it. Do you feel like it was associated, first of all? And what's your feelings and thoughts there?
So I definitely, again, my condolences to the family. I never want to share space and not be able to say that, in prayer for for the family of those that were victimized during Native Omaha Days. But it was definitely an isolated event. It was not, definitely was not a part of Omaha Days, although they were there. And like I shared with the media, one of the questions they did ask me is, what's the plan going forward to ensure that doesn't happen? And I said, my response to that was, we cannot safeguard everything. We've done everything we possibly can to provide safety during Omaha Days. But my question to the media, I shifted it back and said, can you highlight more of the positive than the negative? Because one negative thing overshadows the week that we had that was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And while there was some violence, we cannot stop all the violence that happens. We try to create a safe atmosphere. We talk about safety and aligning ourselves and working with the committee had done a great job with working with the Omaha Police Department. The Native Omaha Club has community ambassadors so that we can have community involvement to ensure safety. But it was a one-off, isolated event that was very unfortunate, but it should not take away from the ability that we showed for that whole week we can commune together and have a good time. And that's exactly what happened. It's unfortunate. And like I shared also with the media, you have Maha Festival where they're fighting with each other and things happen. You go and you have Exarb, and there's things that happen at festivals. We cannot, and please do not, when it comes to North Omaha, explode at one event and make it seem as if it was unsafe for the entire time. If you're not going to be equitable and do that for Maha Festival, for Cinco de Mayo, for Exarban, for the art shows, all the things, if something happens there, you should also elevate that as you do in North Omaha, because Omaha Day was a beautiful thing with one incident that the media latched onto and attached it to us, which was unfair. Definitely unfair.
Okay. What's your thoughts, buddy?
I had two questions. I just want to respect, time is kind of winding down. Marlon is in the chat, is asking about the $3.2 million made during Native Omaha Days. Speaking of the media, that is something that has been reported on. Do you have a figure of, the economic impact of Native Omaha Days?
Not yet. We're still collecting data for that. We have a survey going out to various entities as well as the community. So we don't have a hard number for that yet, but we're working very diligently to get that.
Okay, and that 3.2 million, do you feel like that's under, over, or how?
I think it's under. I really think it's under. And when I said that number, it was a mere guesstimation. I know that's not a word. Guesstimation of what we did get in terms of economic impact. But I'm definitely thinking it's under. I mean, it's more than 3 million.
Yeah.
First of all, guesstimation is a word if we understand what it is.
you know us. We can come up with some words. We're like, yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's my word for the day. Guesstimation.
There you go. There you go. We'll definitely love to hear the actual number and, make that more of the conversation, the economic impact of something like Native Omaha Days, which you start to talk in numbers, then, state officials, they'll get behind it once you actually lay out the numbers. So there is that. But before we get out of here, I wanted to touch on the national aspect of Native Omaha, because it's not just in Omaha. This is something that we're actually very excited about as First Sky Omaha, and telling that story, how Native Omaha has spread around the country. Can you kind of speak to that, where, there are Native Omaha clubs in other areas, Atlanta, California, Texas? What does that look like? How does that work? What is that? Can you speak
to that? Giving all respect to California, because you do know that's how we got Omaha Days. Our two founders visited California. Miss Vera Johnson was a teenager, and Omaha Days was happening in California. And so she brought it back as a young adult, saying, we got to do something. I don't like how it happened in California. So that's how Native Omaha Days began in Omaha, is by our founders visiting, in California during that time. So California holds the reason why Omaha Days exists. But then, like you mentioned, Texas does it. They do a weekend. And I think Las Vegas also does Native Omaha Days. And so all of that comes by way of California, and then Omaha, Nebraska, and from Omaha, Nebraska, the other limbs extended out to the other states. But that's how we began, is our founders went to California. That's how Native Omaha Days started in 1976.
Do you work with any of the other chapters, or is any collaboration?
No collaboration, but I think our one that we align the most with is Texas. Because a lot of those they started, I think, not early 2000s when they started in Texas, but those are the ones that come back the most, is from the Texas weekend that they have for Omaha Days.
Man,
that is interesting.
It is. And it's just a feeling like, you think about, Native Omahans in New York. You think about just all the areas that Native Omahans have infiltrated and found success and made a name for themselves. It really is exciting to think like the possibility of a Native Omaha celebration across the nation, where all these Native Omahans are coming together around little Omaha.
Yeah. Because you think, I mean, we North Omahans, not against anybody else, but North Omahans, we bring a whole lot of flavor. I mean, we do. Whether we are in Texas, Georgia, wherever, and people always ask, are there people in Omaha, Black people in Omaha? Absolutely, they are, and not only are we here, we're doing a lot of good work. And that speaks to those that go out of their roots and bring it back, because I mean, we are some good humans. What we're doing. So
there you go.
I pride that on that.
And I'm also proud that Native Omahans that come back are also avid record collectors. We got Mark Manor from Homer's in the chat saying we had plenty of people come into the record store in the old market that were in town for Native Omaha Days. So
Love it.
get your vinyl right. Get your vinyl right.
Yes, yes,
Mama Gawd said,
absolutely.
estimate the number of Omahans that returned to participate in the celebration. You got an estimate number of people that showed up.
I guess
It's between 16 to 20,000 people.
Wow,
man.
Is what we're leaning into. I mean, if you think about just the gospel fest, it was over 800 people just that event alone.
Wow.
And then all the other events that happen, it's a lot of people, which is why we're also going to have conversations with the city, the tourism department.
Yeah.
We need some funding support.
Yes.
We're reintroducing North Omaha for you. We are marketing for you.
Exactly.
And so because of that, the Native Omahans Club needs to share in some of that, economic improvement process that's happening. And so hopefully we're doing it. And again, just education. People just need to be educated on why this exists and the impact that we have.
Well, to help you out, we're going to go ahead and put this link in the chat. This is the hit that link. That's your survey, so we can kind of get some information on what it is that happened, as the economic outcome, and so on and so forth. If you guys can, in the chat, and if you're watching this later on, go back in the chat and hit this link so that you can fill this out. If you happen to participate Native Omaha Days, if you went to any of the legacy events, if you were a vendor or so on and so forth, there's some questions there for you to be able to answer so they can get some more data on how this happens, because we all know that getting more data will help what's going on in 2 years and prepare for that as well. So there's a few surveys out there, but this is the one for the Native Omaha Club. I highly suggest you fill out all surveys, really, all the data we can stand, but definitely hit this one so that they can get an idea of what to do in the next couple of years here for that, for sure. So so anyway, any last words, buddy? Any last thoughts? Because I definitely want to let you go, and I feel like we're leaving on a high note, really understanding what's going on with Native Omahans Club, and happy and proud of it. And I feel like we got a lot of questions that we had answered too, and I hope it answered a lot in the chat. I didn't see many chat chimers coming in with too many questions, so it must mean that you have answered their questions as well, which is great. What's your final thoughts, buddy?
It's pretty much that. I do have a kind of a soliloquy. It's not really a question, but just thinking of Native Omaha Days and little old Omaha, and that simple question: is Black people in Omaha? And the celebration of it is almost feels like a microcosm of just the Black plight in America. Y'all exist. Y'all exist. Y'all are here, and it's saying not only do we exist, but we bring flavor. Like we here. We in here. Like
we here.
So that's the feeling that I'm having, and man, it's a beautiful thing, and let's just keep it going. Just keep it going.
That's the plan, is to keep it going and to expand the vision of our founders, but not get away from the tradition and the foundation of why it exists. We will never do that as the Native Omahans Club. So I appreciate you both having me on, and any opportunity I get to talk about and educate about Omaha Days, definitely willing to do that. But having a succession plan so the club can continue to evolve even past when we're gone, that our younger generation understands the importance of these two Black women and why they saw fit to start something as great as Native Omaha Days.
Love it. Appreciate your visit. We'll definitely talk to you offline too, in person, because we want to talk about maybe a partnership between First Sky Omaha and Native Omahans Club.
Love it.
Got some ideas on some things. So we'll definitely talk. And anytime you want to hit us up, let us know too. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay.
Just one more question. I did see a lot of people recording. There's a lot of media people out there. Where's that content going to be? Because talking about telling that story, anytime I show people in Atlanta video of Native Omaha Day Parade, they like, oh, it's like that in Omaha. I got to come check it out. So that content, where can we find any of that content from the Native Omaha Days?
So good question. So we are working, we have a web developer, and so he's going to be uploading all of that stuff onto our website. You can be able to just go to nativeomahaclub.org once we get it updated, and you'll be able to see all the content. We're going to be setting the dates for 2027. And so those will be published, and we'll continue to laid a foundation for another successful 2027 Omaha Days.
Beautiful.
Love it. I just thought of something. One more thing. I really appreciate that there was so many street namings that happened this time around as well. Was you consider that part of the legacy of what happened? I know that the founders got a street naming, but also Mary Ewing got a street naming. Marla Harrison's parents got a street naming. All this happened around Native Omaha Days. Do you consider those kinds of celebrations part of the legacy events as well?
Oh, absolutely, because our founders would love, for that to have happened, especially during the week of celebrating us. When is a better time to do such thing, right? Because of the national attention that we are getting, again, proving the point that not only are we from North Omaha, but we are, we bring a lot to the table in any atmosphere, any space that we're in. If we're from North Omaha, you better believe that we're at the table bringing a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that you're going to lean into. So
love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks again. You take care of yourself. You have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You sure you don't have any last questions, Paul?
I got a ton of last questions. I had to let it go. Had a ton of last questions, but had to let it go. I hope we didn't make it late for work. It's 8:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you had to be at work at 8 o'clock, you was late.
I don't know. By now, you might be fired.
You was fired. We'll take a quick break and come back and wrap up the show. Stay tuned for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be Buddy to Gawd. We'll be right back, y'all.
Omaha, get ready to groove. The Love 'em Jazz Festival is back Saturday, August 30th at Turner Park in Midtown Crossing. Enjoy the sounds of jazz funk soul, Jeff Lorber, Paul Jackson Jr., Everett Harp, plus Julian Vaughn and 480 East. It all happens from 4 to 10 p.m. and it's free and open to the public. Bring your friends and your love for great music. The free Love 'em Jazz Festival, August 30th at Turner Park, starts at 4 p.m.
Man, I'm trying to tell you about Love 'em Jazz Festival, bro. The Hollands Group be bringing the heavy hitters.
Going down.
It's going down right in the park too, man. So definitely check that out. Omaha Jazz on the Green is done, but there's going to be some more Jazz on the Green coming up. So get your blankets back out. It's going down. It's a free event. Please, please, please hit them up. If you don't want to miss this lineup right here for real, like if I call my family in California and my Uncle Milo and then be like, yo, Everett Harp's going to be in Omaha, he might have to take a trip down for that.
Man.
So yeah, it's Everett Harp, man, Paul Jackson Jr., Jeff Lorber. That's a crazy one. I've never got a chance to see Jeff Lorber live. And yeah, so heavy hitters with the Love 'em Jazz Festival. A lot of people were talking about the Jazz on the Green. Wasn't a whole lot of jazz going on Jazz on the Green.
I went out there, man. Left a little bit to be desired.
And the thing, like my family used to travel back to Omaha to see the Jazz on the Green when it was over at the Jocelyn, like back in the day.
Man.
And so now, it's evolved and, it is what it is. And, we are finding out, it's OPA. So we're finding out like who the people are who are doing the bookings, and it's different. It's different. They're catering to other crowds. But for some hardcore jazz heads, you definitely need to go check out Love 'em Jazz Festival. Like I said, free show. It's another one of those shows out there at Turner Park where you can bring your picnic basket and your chair and your whatever, and go check out some real deal Grammy nominated jazz funk soul artists with a lot of history, man. Jeff Lorber 70s, 80s. Everett Harp was 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know a little bit about Everett Harp. A lot of Sunday morning cleaning sessions to some Everett Harp.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. So shout out to the Love 'em Fest. They've been partnering with us since Minus Old Days. So that's one of our original clients from back in the day. So appreciate that. If you have any, go ahead.
They might want to make that Saturday, clear that Saturday out. That's also the CeeLo show. So yeah, it's going down that day.
Blackety black day that day. So get your cruise on, man. Get your pregame happening with the Love 'em Jazz Festival, and then later on that night, man, hit the Unity Festival over there on at Jean Leahy Mall at the riverfront. So literally down the street. This is going down. So it's going to be a blackety black day here on August 30th to see some heavy hitters. Shout out CeeLo Green, man. The Atlanta Omaha connection. It needs to get tougher.
Hey, making it happen.
We're making it happen, for real. So appreciate that. Y'all planning on going? Let us know. Really need to know that. Yeah, Mark Manor knows. He says that's wild that it's free. Huge names Huge names for sure. Donnell Sessions in the chat. Good morning. Says many local photojournalists like Andre Sessions Jr. have lots of content. Yeah. Shout out to Andre Sessions, man. He be snapping that camera for real. Appreciate that. And I highly encourage everybody who has footage, gather it all in one spot. Go ahead to nativeomahaclub.org. Send it to them so they can have it all in one spot, man. So it's a documentary of what happened each time it happens. So you can use your own footage and do your own thing with it, but it'd be nice to send some of that over to nativeomahaclub.org as well, because it sounds like they got people over there trying to archive and just keep track of what happened there, and maybe make something from it, to some documentary film or something to show Native Omaha Days over the years. That'd be great.
Story needs to be told, man.
Mama God says, speaking of trip from Cali, Paul, how was your trip to hang with Pops? I'm still here. I'm still hanging with Pops. It's going good. We eat all the good food, watch all the good shows, hang out. we creating some stuff on. We got an idea on a video series to work on. So
nice.
Yeah. He's a creator as well. As you can see, he's got, I got his books in back of me right there. Definitely check him out on Amazon. Paul B. Allen III. He got books on Amazon. By the way, that board behind me too is my sister's art. So once again, surrounded by artists in the family, the love supreme. And so I'm having a good time. He's my idol when it comes to what I want to be doing when I slow down with work. I want to be jumping into my art every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So appreciate everybody that's asking about that. And Marlon Harrison was asking about, if you gonna bring Pops on the screen. Man, it's too early. I'm barely crawling to the camera myself and getting up this early in the morning for it. So if it's 7 o'clock in Omaha, it's 5 o'clock in on the West Coast here. So yeah, it's early. It's early.
Much love to our West Coast listeners, man. Cali, Arizona, Vegas, Hawaii. You mentioned, yes, it's kind of crazy.
It is crazy to get up this early and be involved with the live. That's why we know, everybody kind of comes back and watches the show in its entirety later on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, because it's hard to get up and engage. But for you chat chimers that do, especially the ones that are out of town, really appreciate you for real.
Yeah.
Yep. I certainly do, Mama God. Enjoy your time with Dad and valuable times. I certainly do.
Hey, living the life with one another. That's what it's about. Got
to. We got about 9 minutes left in the show, buddy. You want to wrap up a few things that we were talking about?
Yeah, obviously we're gonna have to continue this thread, continue this conversation, but that's the nature of this show. It's not just who, what, where, when, why, wham, bam. Thank you, man. We get in and we, try to get to the bottom of it.
Wham, bam. Thank you, man.
Get in, get out. Man.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Hey, yeah, it's not that. It's not that is the point. Again, we're here to try to get some real understanding and get to the bottom of it and have conversations. So with that said, we will continue to have this conversation about development. I do appreciate hearing, and having the conversation with Sister Kim, because that's at the heart of what I'm feeling and why I think the conversation is important as far as homelessness, housing, development, keeping North Omaha, kind of on the back end of the homeless and unhoused conversation is land grabs and development and, what that means for the value of property and things like that. So again, a few chat chimers, few of our listeners have brought up some questions about some of the developments that are going on in North Omaha, namely what's going on with the Mensch Group, which we are not familiar with, but are definitely looking into and learning more about. A big shout out to those that went to support our local artists, but it wasn't just about having, artists on stage and throwing a show. This back to school event was also very much so a preview and a precursor for some development that's going on in that area. Again, who's behind this development? Who's the development for? All of these answers or all of these questions still need to be answered. So again, we're going to continue having the conversation, but the point is for this episode is that we're here. North Omaha is here. We're on the map, and as Sister Kim says, we got some flavor to bring, man. So we're gonna keep on keeping on, making the main thing the main thing. In the meantime, between time, 7 minutes left. Paul B.
Yo, 7 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. About that situation, we got some shout out to the chat chimers. We got some people that hit us up. Chat chimers and ghost listeners that had some questions about what was going on. Of course, we wanted to. We're artists and we're musicians. So this lineup that we saw here was some of the best musicians and artists that are coming out of Omaha, along with a major label artist that's come to headline. And so this for us was a major show. This is kind of dream show for me, actually. I wish I could put these kinds of shows on in Omaha all the time. So shout out to the Mensch Group. I've been trying to figure out how to financially do that for a while, because it was a definite investment. So I'm not really sure how the ticket sales went. I'm quite sure ticket sales didn't cover the cost of this show. This was absolutely, we have to follow the money on it, but it was absolutely a show that a group put together in order to just throw a show, which is different than throwing a show to be able to make some money with the show. This kind of came to my attention as why did they put this show on exactly in this area? There were some things that definitely came up about who the group is and why this show existed, and what happened there. And there was even an article in KMTV. Shout out to Melissa Wright, who put some stuff out that we can talk about on Wednesday about the nature of this show and what people came to see and what people learned when they got there, which was this development stuff that we're talking about. This is an actual photo here from that article. So check out Melissa Wright, KMTV. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. But they're showing us about what's going on with this housing situation, which is the reason why I feel like Buddy's thread had to do with the housing situation here today. What this actually means: development, North Omaha, right on 24th Street. It's interesting to learn about it by way of a concert, which is what I think the majority of people that have learned about it, because it seemed to be a lot of information that wasn't out in public, which is the reason why Chad Chalmers kind of brought it to our attention. So shout out to you guys. We'll talk more about that Wednesday, because this is something that our community is actually really talking about a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's tied into Space is the Place this season and everything that's going on here for sure. So yeah, if you have any information on that too, let us know. Definitely check us out. We would love to hear from you on that. Mark Manor is saying it was a free show, talking about the Mensch show. So no tickets. It was a free show. We all know what that means. If you ever put on a show, you got to come up with the funds for that. And look at the stage, look at everything that costs money. Look at the mainstream artists. How much money the advertising? How much money was put into putting this show on? And again, for the neighborhood, what was the reason? Good questions.
Back to school? Is that really?
It was around back to school time. So yeah. I mean, like I said, man, we're musicians and artists, so we think it was great. If we was performing right now, we'd have been on that show too, probably. So it is what it is. I'm glad that the show happened. Not saying anything about that, but we do want to follow the money. We do want to understand why. Mark Manor says, and I have been involved with many events, and that event costs some money. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, most definitely. He says they had community groups there as well as vendors also. So a proper event, a real deal proper event. Like I said, my dream event. I wish that I could figure out how to do that and be able to break even in Omaha, bringing an event like that. It's a little tough. So just think about that. But also enjoy the fact that it was a free show and you got to go check out the dopest artists in Nebraska in that way too. So, but lots to talk about, lots to figure out. Anthony Rogers Wright says, when the Mensch Group is done with gentrification, the next show will be Toby Keith and the country music all-star.
Hey, you just went straight for the gusto, huh? I mean, we'll talk about it.
RG the chat says, speaking of shows, is that individual that stiffed Keith Sweat still doing shows around town? I have no comment. I got no comment on that, who that is, what happened. Keith Sweat came back since then though, so I guess he got squared away. But that was something. That was if we had been really reporting the news at that time, it would have been like breaking news. Keith Sweat said on stage that he was getting stiff for this show. It was quite the announcement when he got up. He was like, "I'm gonna leave with my money." He was upset. I'll never forget that. That was incredible.
But I mean, goes back to the point, throwing these level of shows, like, hey, follow the money.
I will say, Omaha, y'all, we spoiled out here. I'm gonna say that, because we get to see more free shows than I've ever seen in any city I've ever lived in my life. Big shows too, and it does have to do with that. It does have to do with there's no ecosystem here really for you to be able to buy a ticket, and like the promoter life is real tough because promoters don't have a venue where you can just be open every night, sell tickets every night, and cover everything you need to cover to bring artists out. Because there's the ecosystem here is so tough, and because we don't do a whole bunch of ticket buy-in a lot of times, we don't get a lot of shows. So when we get shows that are free like that, it is because there's somebody they've raised some funds to be able to throw it. It's not, not that. I mean, every show has to raise funds to be able to throw, even if they're selling tickets and depending on those tickets. But for the most part, we get a lot of free stuff because if we see it here, it's because somebody brought it here on purpose for a reason. Because there's not really an industry here for promoters to come here and really do that. Like groups like 1% and those guys kind of got things sewed up, and they also got venues to put that kind of stuff in. So it really is like when you see something like that, like just what just happened with this last show, and the quality of the show and the headlining artists and the way that every artist that came through, even both reunion,
man,
like you pull something off if you got both back together, and for a reunion show that could have been something legendary by itself. But for that all that talent to be on stage and all those groups to get paid and everything else, there was a pretty penny that was paid in order to make that show happen. Glad it happened. Wish it could happen all the time, but it just makes it even more special, man. When you do this, if you hit that show, then that was kind of legendary on all kinds of levels that you were able to see that. So shout out to everybody that did. I was sitting here on the West Coast mad and looking at everybody's feeds like, man, I wish I was there.
Yeah, show went down. So,
it really did. And this show's going down too. It is 9:00. If you believe in the concept of time, we're at the end of the show. We appreciate everybody that joined us this Monday. I am deliriously tired still.
He tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss. I'm taking a nap right after this. Appreciate you guys, buddy. You got some words for the people? What's on your mind? I know I'm deliriously talking now. So what are you thinking over there?
No, man, that's pretty much it. We'll pick this conversation up on Wednesday. Again, peeking behind the curtain of the Mensch Group, if you will, trying to figure out what's going on with this housing situation. Hearing a lot about holy name housing, hearing a lot about habitat. What does that mean for the hood?
Yeah, man. Big time. And not all bad. We ain't a person that like everything's bad about this.
Just what does it mean?
What is it? Right.
There you go. So yeah, we'll talk about it on Wednesday. In the meantime, between time, thank you to everybody who tuned in with us. Big thanks to Sister Kimberly Sherrod for coming through and clearing some things up for us and really, getting us hyped, man. Hey, we here, bringing some flavor. We at the table, man. So I love it. Thank you all. And catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning.
The morning.
Hey, there you go. And of course, on Fridays, look out for the weekly wrap. Until then, Paul B.
Yo. Hey. I'm thoroughly excited about what's happening with Native Omaha Days here on out. I got an understanding that I never had before, and I already liked it in the first place. So I'm really hyped about what's going to happen next, and not even just in the next 2 years. What's going to happen in between now and the next week? Yeah,
gotta get
excited. Shout out to Miss Kimberly Sherrod for sure. Shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. Shout out to Pops for letting me do this in his space. Shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you and bringing in all of these great comments and being respectful to our guests and being respectful to each other and everything, man. Really appreciate everybody who joins us and has especially these kinds of shows too, where we can really uplift what's going on in North Omaha and the Black community of Omaha, Nebraska. That's what it's all about for us in a big way. Live alive with one another, do your art, drink your water, all that good stuff. And we will definitely see you on Wednesday. What's the A?
It's about the north. It's about the
wait. Hold on. We got to blow that up. Where are you at? And we got to flip it so we can read it right side up. Hold up. Checking.
It's about the north. Man,
you get the north on the bicep too, bro. North strong. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Take it with me everywhere I go.
That's what's up, buddy. That's what's up. Omaha, center of the universe.
Come on, man. Northside pride, straight from the deuce.
And we'll be back to you, no matter where we are in the world, to talk about Omaha again soon, Wednesday. Stay tuned. My special guest Wednesday too. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you then.
Peace.
Bees up.
By the way, Van Gogh. This is protected by the red
by any